I need to probably get a new one. Get a new laptop. Okay, finally coming up. Hey, what's up, traders? Good morning to you, depending where you are. Good evening or good afternoon. My name is George, and this is Daily Forex Analysis for 14th of April. Today, I'm speaking too fast because I'm about to probably take a trade, so I'm going to quickly jump into this is a USDCAD. I want to do this was in the analyzing list, but I can see it's already setting up. So I'm just waiting for this candle to blip a bit higher. So it's on 38.83, so it's about a couple of pips away. So normally, let's have a look. So what we're looking at, so I want this candle to come up about 38.89, so about 5 or 6 pips. 38.89, let's have a look. Let's close this one. 38, so it's about here, 38.89, so we would be looking how many pips? So 89, 10 won't do it. Probably 20 at the very minimum. 20, 24. So it will be about 25 pips. Will be 25 pips stops. So I was going to analyze this currency, but because this market doesn't wait for anyone, so there's a good trading opportunity in here. I do want this one to blip higher. I want another 4 or 5 pips to come up. So, and I'm gonna take the trade. So let's go and oops. Let's get this one out of the way. So we've got 20 peak stops. Let me just quickly calculate. So 20 will be 1. So 140 up here for the stop loss. We'll be looking. What did I say? Was 39. So the entry is at 89. So we're looking at 2909. 20 pips. Okay, looks like it's coming up now. And then once I'm done with this one, then I would be looking to start my usual analysis. It just like suddenly happened that it's at the same time when I'm going live, which is starting to set up. And I want to see a bit more, so come up a bit. So 5 pips, 5 more pips to blip up. Then I'll be looking to short this. Going to the shorts, so 89. Let's see if it's enough. 89, 20. Okay, I can't get away with the 20 pips, so it has to be 25. Yeah, 39.14 would be the stop loss. That will position this one above these highs and also the daily pivot. So in case this is going to continue to go high and get stopped out, then I will not be interested on this trade. So I'm going to need to reanalyze and come back. But for now, I see the potential for the trade. It just needs to come up to that 38.89 zone, then I will be taking the trade. 38.89, so the 39.14, right? Yeah, 39.14 was the stop loss. Okay, 39.14 is stop loss. Yeah, it just needs to come up about 5 more pips. So I really don't want to miss the trade because it looks like I can also put the. Okay, I don't think I can put the limit order because it's so close to the entry. I can't really put the limit order that in case if it comes out, then it can trigger because it's too close. Generally takes what 5. Has to be more than 5 pips distance. Okay, I might be able to take it now. Let me see. Let me see if it lets me to put the limit order. Sometimes, okay, 4 pips. So 38.89. So stop loss here. Let's. Yeah, no, it did. It did let me to. Put the stop. Okay, so we got the order in, so I can chill. Let's say. And for the target, let's see, for the target, I think it was daily to this daily low, which is at 30, around at 3,800 actually. Let's have a look how. So that will be about 90 pips, 25. Okay, that's just about the 1 to 3 risk reward, so that's pretty good. Just leave it like this. It's too far away. We don't know if it's going to work out or not. So if the price comes up and triggers that one, then I'm going to be, well, it's going to trigger the trade. So, okay, let's start with my usual analysis, which was crypto forex. Previous discussed on the AUDUSD. Yes, I will be discussing Australian dollar against US dollar. I do believe I have it in here. So I'm gonna start with my euro against US dollar and followed by US dollar against Canada. And the third one's going to be Australian dollar against US dollar, followed by the British pounds against Japanese yen. Also, if there is any other currency you want me to analyze which is not mentioned in these four, just pop it in the chat and then I will address it a bit later. So let's jump into the euro against US. So this one is developing. So euro against US dollar. So euro against US dollar, starting with the daily time frames. We have this this trend line. Oh, I forgot to bring up the pane. Damn it. That always helps. So we have this daily trend line in here. So the price came up. This is very steep downwards trend line. Generally, the problem with this steep line is the price finds it easy to break the steep trend lines. But so far it has not really managed to do that, and now it's kind of trying it, but we need to follow what we have in front of us. So the price is coming up a bit, but it has not really managed to break the trend line. We have this 4-hourly. The one before it was down to here, but I had to move it because we have this bit high on the 4-hourly time frames in here. The price is kind of trying to break this 4-hourly trend line, but every time it's kind of tested, it has these moves. So we can see that the price came up and tried to test that, and then it has this reaction. Actually, I was looking at this one yesterday on my daily forex analysis. I was waiting for the price to continue because we had this trend line up here, and then it broken, but we have it did not really work out. Luckily, it did not set it up, so I did not end up taking a trade. But we can see that it just rolled over, and now it's coming up for another test in here. So for now, I do want to see either for the price. I'm more positioning forward towards the sell side still, but however, I want to see a bit more weakness in here. I want to see the price coming down a bit, and probably breaking this weekly pivot here. It has not been tested yet, so I'm a bit cautious about that weekly pivot. So I do want to see this one to be broken. I want to see this one to come down and breaking this weekly pivot, which is at 108.85. So I want to see this one to be broken. So now it's going to test. Okay, it's already tested, broken once, and it's coming back to it. So I do want to see the more weakness to come down before I get onto the short side, because now it's kind of this currency is kind of playing around. So there's a chance that the price gonna start break this 4-hourly trend line and start going higher. So there's a good chance of that. We also had these 4-hourly highs in here. So yeah, I do want to see the break of these down to this pivot, and when I see more strength, then I will be looking probably the next 2 hours, next hour or two, more like in two more candles, that I would reanalyze if the currency is gonna if this level is gonna be broken, and then I will be looking for the retracement. Let's have a look what kind of retracement. So depending on the strength, if it's enough pressure towards downside, then and it breaks this this weekly pivot, then I will be looking to get onto this one with justifiable. However, if it's if the candle doesn't looking that strong, then I want to see a bit more retracement. So if it's strong, then there will be retracement up to these highs. We also have this pretty close to these highs as well. However, if the candle is not that strong, maybe it kind of comes down and breaks a bit, and it puts like a similar to the inverted, the hammer or a doji candle. Then I want to see a bit more retracement. That probably maybe if the take out of these highs or come up to about these highs. This looks like more of a strong resistance if the price comes up and comes back up to test it, of course. So this is more like a developing state yet. So let's have a look. However, if the price breaks it, we're gonna have to go to the daily time frame. If the price no, if the price breaks it, that will be for the tomorrow, because I want to see the break of this trend line for the double. That's on a daily time frame, so we have to see that on the daily time frame. The candle is not going to be closed until at the end of the day today, so I can't really discuss the on the long side opportunities until I see the break of this trend line and a bit more strength towards the upside. For now, I'm looking for more for the downside. So as I said, I want to see the break of this weekly pivot down here, and then I would be looking retracement either to these highs here, which is at 109, about 109.05. Or if it's if it does not shows more strength towards downside, then I will be looking a bit more retracement towards upside. So again, this one is more like a developing currency. If I see anything, however, I can just put it on the comments, but it's a bit difficult to do it because when I just observe the chart, it's really difficult to do like multitasking all the time. Like you can see me earlier that when I just went live, I was already looking for that currency. So you've seen that on live. I don't know if it's taken for the trade. Okay, it's probably triggered. Yeah, it's already triggered my trade. We can see it in here. It's been triggered. Yeah. It's been triggered, so we're gonna see if it's gonna work out or not. So I've got 25 pips stop loss, and if the currency continues, ideally continues to my direction, but if it's not, then and it comes up and breaks this daily pivot, then that's fine with me because it's only a fraction of loss, so it does not really doesn't play a big role that if you take a small loss, as long as you're if it's a managed loss, then it's fine. I know that a lot of people get obsessed with the losing trades, especially new traders. They just like, I lost that trade, and you just like beat themselves up. I just made the mistake. That's fine. We all have a losing trades. There's nothing you can do about it. So okay, we discussed what was it? Okay, let's go back to what we said. Ooh. Okay. So we discussed Euro, Australian dollar. We're gonna go to USD. Okay, so you said you have a too much loss. Are you in the trade at the moment, or you just took a loss and you do not know what to do? If you have a trade which is still running and you're sitting in a big loss, that would be a different. If you let me know where you get on and what was your what was your entry level? So I'm going to discuss the Aussie against Australian dollar, and also what's your position? Are you long or short? Which one? So it's a crypto forest asking. So just let me know, and then I'll see, and I'll try to help you with that. So we're going to jump into the US dollar against Canada, and then I'm going to be analyzing Australian dollar against US dollar. If you just let me know the questions just asked, and I'll address them shortly. Let's see, US dollar against Canada. Canada. Where is US dollar Canada? Oh yeah, this is the one I took the trade. So this should be fairly short. So the reason why the trade. So on the daily time frames, we have this nice. It's continuing to fall nicely. Also the yesterday's candle. We can see this nice daily bearish candle here. So it's looking nice and strong. So I'm pretty happy with that, and I'm looking for this currency to definitely to have a bit more downside, at least down to this low here. We have this daily It's kind of daily low. It's not very strong, but it's pretty decent to target this low here. So that's where my target is initially. But if I see a very strong moves, then I might just leave it the position. So move the stop loss and leave the position. So for now, this is my first target down to this low here, which is what was the level here? Which is at 137.95 area. So this is my target down here, which makes up 1 to 3 risk rewards. Perfectly fine with it. 1 to 3 risk reward is way good than again, if you have the 1 to 2 risk reward, that is pretty fine as well. So it just comes to your risk, like how much risk you can handle, how much losses you can take. Of course, the risk reward is high. That means you're gonna have more losses. So you need to like mentally prepare with that. Again, 1 to 2 risk reward is pretty fine as well. So if you're aiming for 1 to 2 risk reward, that's fine. You can have a bigger stop loss, which limits your losses, but then your risk reward is gonna be lower. But don't take anything less than 1 to 1.5 risk rewards, other than over the long period of time, you're gonna end up losing. So that's why 1 to 1 risk reward is not good. I would not advise anyone to take less than 1 to 1.5 risk rewards. As I mentioned, this is going nicely down. And I already took a trade. You've seen it already on live. Just about when I went to live, it was already setting it up. Let's go to, so we took the trade up to this, we took the trade here. It was a 138.89. that was the entry, and the stop is 25 pips stop loss. It is on 139, I think 139.14 at the stop loss is up here, so which gives about 20 was it 25 pips stop loss in here. And for the target we have at 138.05, so which is a 1 to 3 risk reward. It is still justifiable to take a trade. It's pretty close, unless you wanna wait, see if the price kind of pushes up, because we've seen that this daily pivot is not tested yet. So the price might just come up about maybe about these highs here, and come up about these highs here, and then continue towards downside. It does that, so it might come up and then test this daily pivot and then just come down, because it might be a lot of orders, a lot of sell orders coming up to this, where this daily pivot is at the moment, and then it might create a lot of down pressure. So it's up to you, but if you take the trade now, it's also justifiable. It's just your personal choice, really. So I already have a trade triggered, so I'm already in that trade and see. So we got these targets. So pretty much I already talked about this. Okay, let's move to the Aussie against Australian dollar, and let's have the question. Okay, so now the USD, yes, still my trade is in a loss, 0.6305. Let's have a look. The Aussie against US. Where is the Aussie? Okay, they just move around. 60. So you went. So this is the entry point, right? 6305. Let's have a look. 6305. So this is the entry. So you are sitting at almost 100. So 100 pips. So in 100 pips, it's okay. Let me see. If you are sitting on some minus 100 pips, so that's not the end of the world, but depends like your size. So what size of the position you have, and how much that percentage is on your equity. If you're sitting like minus 50% of the your account balance, I can feel like it's not very good positions to be in, because you are already. Yeah, I know what the feeling is, so it's not very good. I would say from my personal experience and the analysis, where I see at the moment is probably you're sitting on a short trade, and we can see the prices on here. If the if the price starts breaking this trend line, which you're not gonna see it until tomorrow, so it's a daily time frame. If you see a lot of strength coming in towards upside, then you probably need to accept the loss and close the position. But then again, if you I can't really dictate that what you should do or not. It has to come from you. So my personal, as of what I see at the moment, if there's a potential that price gonna break this trend line and continue towards upside. That's why it's more like a waiting game in here, because we have this nice, it's strong, a lot of strength in here. We have this last couple of, since pretty much last week, we have this nice strength coming in. So there's a good chance that it will break this trend line. However, it can just turn around and continue towards downside. Let's get rid of this one. So this is more like a waiting game in here. That's why I'm waiting. I want to see if the price breaks this trend line and shows more strength. If it continues, if it closes something like this candle, we have seen this candle here, like nice, bullish candle like this one. Then there's a good chance that price is going to continue, probably at least a very minimum up to this area here, which is at about 66.20, these highs here. So it's just a bit of a waiting game and how it's gonna work with these. So this is what I'm waiting for. If the price breaks that one, then it's more likely gonna continue towards upside. Let me quickly have a look. Yeah, also the last week's candle is pretty strong. Pretty strong towards bullish side, but I do want to see a break of this trend line and continuation towards upside. So if it breaks it, then I will be looking for the long side place. But if, however, it continues, if it turns around and continues towards downside, but I do want to see, if it turns around, then I do want to see a bit more confirmation towards a downside. So for the downside, I will be looking break of these low here. So for now, it's looking pretty strong. So if you're short on that, you might be, again, your decision if you want to close the trade and accept that loss, or you want to wait. So like, you got these choices, so you have to come in terms, think about it. Let's make it just, so think about it. Position, camera box, I don't know which one. Oh. Okay, let me see. I mean this one. Okay, let me just minimize that one, so my face is gonna be less distracting. Okay, let's have a look. So I hope it's better now. Maybe let me minimize it again. Actually, I just put it down here. Okay, I think it should be better now. You got two choices. So you need to come with your attempts. That's why, like, whatever I said or anyone else said, because if I say, let's say, close the trade and take that loss, and then that trade turns around and goes to your desired direction and maybe even hit that profit, then you're gonna be pretty pissed off about me, because you might blame me. I don't know you, obviously, but you might just blame, like, okay, you told me this, you gave me this advice, and then I took a loss. Then otherwise, if I would not take your advice, then I would have been in profit. So it had to come from yourself. So if you're okay, I mean, not okay, but you need to accept it, whether, okay, I'm gonna take this loss, whatever that is. Let's say it's $100. So I'm gonna take this, close the trade and take this 100 USD loss. But there's a obviously potential that you can turn around and go to your target direction, and you might have made the money if you didn't close. Or there's an alternative that if you don't close it and then price continues against your direction, then you might end up losing even more. So you have to make the decision for yourself. But for my view is looks like that your price wants to continue towards upside. So for now, but I do want to see more confirmation for this one to break this trend line here. So there's two potential. If you can handle the loss, then in case the price continues against your direction, and you're gonna take even bigger loss if it continues against your direction, then you have to come in terms with yourself. So like ask yourself the question, if you're gonna be what feeling is going to experience if the trade continues against your direction and you take maybe twice as loss if you would have unless you would have closed that trade. So if you take 100 USD loss now, I mean, it's not good to take a loss, but of course you have to come with your terms. You gotta take like 100 USD loss or take even like twice as or 3 times as much. So it's like two choices. You can either take the loss or and close and forget about that trade and try to work on your next trade, make how you can make it better. That's the problem when you're not using the stop losses. I have come across with many traders who happens to a similar position as you are. So you have to come in terms with yourself. You either take the loss, close the trades, or you wait, but then you're risking either it might work out for you, you can price turn around and go to your desired direction, or you can turn around and continue towards against your direction. So you have to come in terms with yourself. So you can give it a thought and think about it. How can I get your WhatsApp? Yeah, so it's up to you. It has to come from yourself. I can tell you to do this and that, but then if you're not okay with that after that, what's the results gonna be? Then it's not gonna be good for you and good for me either. So come in terms with yourself. Like ask yourself that question. Like, okay, I'm gonna take in this loss, or leave the trade and see what's gonna happen. But then you obviously risking either losing more or it might work out for you as well. So you need to ask yourself that question. Okay, let me see what we said. Can I get WhatsApp number? I can't share the personal information, especially the WhatsApp number. You can email me if what is it? There's social links on the description. You can write me in there, either Instagram or Twitter. I got both of the details down there, so you can contact me with that, and then I will help you. And also I do have my email address linked to this YouTube as well. The best way would be if you contact me with the Instagram, and then we can speak with that with the whatever you want to discuss about trading. So the link's gonna be on this description or my previous videos. I'm pretty sure I put it up on the links for the social media, so you can contact me on the social media, either Instagram or Twitter. So I hope that helps what I just said, and I'm going to continue with the, did I discuss enough on the Aussie against Australian dollar? So again, just briefly go with this. So I want to see a break of these, if it's going to continue, I want to see a break of these trend lines. So it's not going to really happen until tomorrow, because this candle is a daily candle and it's not closed yet. So that's why I'm waiting. And if it's the short trade, then I do want to see price coming down and break down to this level, which is at 63.40 30 zone down here. So I want to see a strength coming in towards downside. Then I will be looking into the shorts, but for now it's looking pretty strong towards upside. But I want to see a bit more confirmation. If it happens to break this trend line, then any retracement down to probably if it breaks and goes, let's say somewhere up here about 6,500, then I will be looking any retracement towards downside. Probably that's more like we're gonna see it tomorrow on my daily forex analysis. Probably gonna analyze if I see the potential on that. Okay, so that's Aussie US dollar. It's still developing, and yeah, so I don't think it's gonna do it today, even unless something happens. Actually, speaking of that, let's go to Forex Factory, see what the news are out there. I briefly checked it, but it was not. Okay, so we have G7 meetings all day, so nothing huge as of the currencies goes. We get trade balance. This is for China, so it might have a bit of an impact on that, depending for the. Yeah, G7 meeting is gonna be probably the main one today, depending what they're gonna say and what's gonna happen, depending on the talks. So that might create some volatility depending what's gonna happen between that meeting, the G7 meeting in there. So let's see. But if there's gonna be a lot of strength, then I want to see break of this low, which is down here on the daily time frames, and then I'll be looking for the short side plays for another retracement somewhere up there. But I don't think it's gonna happen in the next, most likely about next 4 hours. And yeah, so this would be Aussie against a US dollar, and we're gonna go to the next. What was the next one? Oops, let's go to British pounds against Japanese yen. Oh, I like this currency. This is one of my favorite currencies. British pounds against Japanese yen and euro against Australian dollar. They move a lot. They can you can get so much pips. The coverage of this, the ground coverage of this one is so good. Let's start with the daily time frames. We can see the price is going higher. It's quite a bit of strength, but I did check this one earlier. Yeah, so the price is sitting. So we found the resistance in here. So we can see that it tested in here, which is so it tested. It tested first time, or was it on 9th? So it was like last week. It tested and it has a mild reaction, and now it's coming up on a second try here. So I want to see the price breaking these highs here, and then any retracement towards downside, a little shorts. So on these particular occasions, I can use the shorter time frame to get onto the trade, but I want to see a good nice bullish close on the 4-hourly time frames. So let's have a look at the 4-hourly time frames in here. So I want to see the price coming up. What was this daily? So that's the spike highs. So it's 135. So 135.70. So I want to see a nice bullish strength coming in. What was we have? 135.70. So that will be coming up, and ideally close. Not ideally, but that will be a requirement in here that it closes nicely bullish. I want to see a bullish candle, and then nice close in here. Then I will be giving a shot for the long side if it retraces somewhere. So the retracement wise would be we're gonna use as of the entry, we're gonna use the 1-hourly time frame. So I don't want to see anything something like this one, or what we have this last 4-hourly candle like this one. I don't want to see anything like this. And okay, this candle is still developing with 8 a.m. candle, so it's not going to close until the midday. But if it closes something like this one, then I will not be interested to get onto the long side. So I want to see that the price coming up like something like this, nice strong bullish candles, and I want to see break of this high here. And then if that happens, then I want to see a bit of a retracement. So let's have a look at the what's the potential retracement on here. So this is more gonna be after it's closed this midday candle. Not midday, 8 a.m. candle. So it will be another 4 hours, 3 hours and a half. After 3.5 hours, that position. So if you're gonna be here and looking at the currencies, then you should be. So if the price comes up at 35, so I want to see that break of these. So let's say the candles closes somewhere at 136.10. Then I want to see a retracement. Unfortunately, we have nothing on the left-hand side. Okay, so we're gonna use a shorter time frame in here. Let's see what we have on the daily. No, we don't have nothing in here. So we're gonna use the 4-hourly, because on the 1-hourly time frames, if you look at on the left hand side, it's not really much we can use to get onto the use as an entry. So on this case, if the price comes up, so 136, so 136.10 roughly, then we want a retracement. This one looks okay. This one looks decent. So 135.50 zone. But again, I do want to see. No, actually, that will be too far. That will be too far. So 136.10. Previous highs. I can go as maximum as previous highs, which is at 135.70. We can use that one to get onto the long side. But again, as I mentioned, it has to close and show some strength on a 4-hourly time frame. I want to see a nice bullish candle on a 4-hourly time frame, kind of similar to what we had this candle here, this one there, something like this. I want to see a nice, strong close on for the either if it's gonna do for this 4-hour gap, so up until midday. If it doesn't do that, then we have another 4-hourly, and if it doesn't do that on that 4-hourly, then I will not be interested in that. So this is quite a developing candle, developing currency yet, so that's why I'm looking at it. But it's not gonna do anything for the next 3.5 hours at the very minimum. For the stop losses, let's analyze. So if we get onto 135.70, this one's gonna take yeah, this one's gonna need about 60 to 70 pips you're gonna need on this one. This is fine. I mean, 70 pips sounds very big for the day trade, but this currency moves a lot, so 70 pips is pretty much nothing for this currency. This one and euro against Australian dollar, these two currencies, they move a lot, so 70 pips is not that much. So the break of this, so 135.70 for the entry, and for the target 70. So we can run it to, this one looks like a good level of cluster of let me get rid of this one down here. There's a lot of cluster here. 13800. We have these highs here, 137.95 or 13800 roughly. We got these these highs, this cluster here, and this is also pretty close to these lows, and we got this spike and also this price action going on here. So you might want to give it maybe about 30 pip margin, depends, but 13800 is a pretty decent target. Or you can run it a bit further, which is up to these highs, but I do like to take a bit of a precaution because this currency does move a lot, and then it can change the course of action pretty quick. So you might want to be a lot on that trade and observing pretty well. So, and as of the, so 135 was it 135.70? If we run it 13800, yeah, that's a good risk reward. So we think it's 70. So yeah, it works out more than, I think, more than 1 to 3 risk reward. If my math is good, it should work out 1 to 3 risk reward, which is what we want to aim for. Again, 1 to 2 is pretty good as well. In my case, I like to take trades 1 to 3 risk rewards. So again, it's not going to work out in this another next 3.5 hours. So we're going to wait and see how this candle is going to close. So this was the four currencies I analyzed. Let's see if there's any other question. So I don't see any more questions, so I'm going to finish it with these, where just this 4 currency. It's already going about 38 minutes, which is pretty long. I wanted to keep it to the half an hour. So that will be it, guys, and if you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm making this live daily forex analysis Monday to Friday, 8 AM UK time, as well as I'm making weekly Forex analysis and the videos about the knowledge you need and anything that will help you to improve your trading. I do concentrate more onto the psychology side because that is most important. It is more important than any strategy you can ever get. First, your mindset is the number one, and then comes the strategies and all the price action and price patterns and all that. So mindset is the number one. So I'm making daily videos on my channel. So, and if you like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up. I do appreciate, and it really helps me and motivates me to make even more videos. So that will be it for guys now, and I will see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. UK time on my daily Forex analysis. Have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye. This one's gonna take time. Oh, I'm still here because my laptop is not doing a good job.